Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is me. And we are back with some shit. That is for sure. Okay, so we are starting NoahJ's contest map today, which the theme needs to be a rage map. Let me get my stream because I'm still not set up for some reason. There we go. We're good. We are good. I have coffee with me, and I need to drink it right now actually, because it's getting cold. So yes, we are working on a rage map. Not exactly my favourite kind of theme, because usually my maps, I like to not be rage maps because I want people to enjoy them more, and I find rage maps just, well, the purpose of them is to be annoying. So yes, this shall be interesting, but what we're going to be doing is a Mario theme, of course. I might turn the music down a bit, I think it might be a bit too loud. Do that. There we go, it should be about fine. So yeah, we're going to be doing a Mario theme, of course, because, well, it wouldn't be Spike without a Mario theme after all. Why is my phone going off already? Okay. Yes, we're doing a Mario theme. I won't fully explain my idea yet, but basically we're going to be just focusing on getting the UI all set up today. The UI is going to be very similar to Twisted Mansion, so I've already done a bit here. This is what we've got so far. We just got a blank template with the main Twisted Mansion UI. These are all the perks, that's like the shine for them, because I haven't actually set up any code for them yet. So this is all we've got so far, and we're basically just going to be working on fixing up all this UI stuff for today. Once I've drunk my coffee, we're going to open up a WordPad document, which is going to tell us what we're going to be doing. Oh my god, I just spilled my coffee everywhere now. This is a tragedy. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let's open up WordPad. Not eWordPad. WordPad, please. No. I don't want a printer connection. I don't need to print this. Let's go with a different font because I hate Calibri. Comic Sans. Yeah, you know what, let's go with Comic Sans. What a meme. Spike's beautiful Mario map. Mario map. For NoahJ's contest. So basically how this is going to work is we're going to have multiple phases. So it's going to be like multiple challenges built into one map, pretty much. And I've decided to go with 14 phases where they're like duplicates. So there's 7 unique ones and then the same 7 loop again, but with a slightly different twist. So phase 1 is going to be a kind of like a Hall of the Shrink knockoff. Mini Hall of the Shrink. Perks either side. Perks to unlock either side. Stairs going up. Stairs going up instead of a hallway. Water filling up instead of instead of lasers. So yes, that is going to be the first phase. It's going to be kind of like a mixture of Hall of the Shrink and the Staircase to Heaven or Staircase to Hell, or whatever it's called. So that's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be like probably the easiest one on here, but it should be because it's the first phase. Phase 2 though, straight after we complete that, we're going to be going to a tower, which is literally just going to be a basic tower with minimal parkour. Phase 3 is gonna be the parkour part. Probably both horizontal and vertical parkour. We'll just say advanced parkour. And also, water is still filling up for the tower section. Still filling up for tower section. Also, I haven't even mentioned the main thing for this map, which is that the enemies are mini Goombas. Every single enemy is a mini Goomba. So that's the unique thing about this map, because usually the zombies are just your height, you know? But with the mini Goombas, you're going to have to be aiming down all the time, and they're going to be harder to see. So that is the main thing that is going to make this map a rage map. And the other thing that will make this map a rage map is boos everywhere, because boos are probably the most annoyingest thing on my maps so far. We're just going to put a rage map here, just for some context. So yeah, boos are going to be annoying, they're going to make you rage, and that's the purpose of the map after all. Phase 4 is going to be a Mario Tower Defense kind of thing. Mario Tower Defense. Defend Toads against Goombas. If all Toads die in a certain amount of time, game over. So that's phase 4. Just gonna be like a Mario Tower Defense kind of thing. So if you could tell so far, this is kind of like a celebration of all my challenge maps so far. So what do we think is gonna be next? Well, it's gonna be Nowhere to Run, of course, but it's not. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, this one is Nowhere to Run. The next one's the one that I was just about to talk about. So this is a Nowhere to Run style challenge. Doors open automatically at random times. Survive automatically at random. Doors open automatically at random survives. Yeah, that makes sense. At random times, survive a certain amount of time to move to next phase. Where the next phase is Nowhere to Run, but you're actually on the outside where the zombies were originally. Nowhere to Run, but you're on the outside. But you're on the outside instead. Where phase 7 is the boss battle, but there might be like a parkour section leading up to it. So should we do 8 phases instead of 7? Probably. Yeah, probably 8 phases then. So phase 7 is going to be a vertical kind of parkour challenge. Vertical parkour. Where phase 8 is the boss battle with none other than Bowser Jr. himself. Then, for phases 9 to 16, phases 9 to 16, exactly the same, except all challenges are in complete darkness with only a spotlight emitting around you, and boss battle is with Bowser instead of Bowser Jr. So yeah, 9 to 16, that's just another thing to make you rage because you can't see shit. You're just gonna be like going around in the dark. I imagine the hardest one of this would probably be the parkour challenges. And probably the boss battle, to be fair, as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The only thing I'm going to struggle with balancing on this map is the time it takes to complete all these phases, because obviously we don't want the map being like 2 hours long. I mean, 16 phases is quite a lot, so we want to try and balance it so it takes about 40 minutes in total, or half hour. I'm aiming for like a half hour to hour kind of map here. Anything over an hour is just a no good, so we gotta try and make these phases as short as possible. Like, I could take out a phase here, but I'm not sure what one I would want to, because this one we definitely don't want to take out. This one's cool. The tower, I mean, people like tower maps, and I wouldn't, and this tower isn't exactly going to be that long anyway. I mean, parkour is needed for a rage kind of map. But we do have parkour twice, so I could maybe take out this one. Maybe remove, we'll put. We don't have to decide on that right now, because today we're just going to be doing the UI, and maybe doing some more after if we have time. So let's get started then with the UI. So first thing we want to actually do is decide what perks we want to use, because I think we're going to start with a perk UI first and perk functionality. Yes, exactly. That is exactly what we are doing. So prefab browser, ZM, Haribo, and the perks. Okay, so what perks are we definitely gonna have here? We're definitely gonna have Mule Kick, because everyone loves Mule Kick, am I right? There we go, we got Mule Kick. Electric Cherry, yep, definitely. Dead Shot for sure. Double Tap for sure. Elemental Pop for sure. Juggernog? Nah, we don't need that. No, I'm just joking. We'll have Juggernog. Stamina Up, yep. Ooh, actually Stamina Up. Should we have Stamina Up? Because Stamina Up could make certain challenges a lot easier than I intend them to be. So I actually might not have Stamina Up. I'm just thinking, I mean, Stamina Up on the stairs map wouldn't be bad at all. Same with the tower map. It's mostly the parkour ones that it could screw stuff up with. And maybe the boss battle as well. So I think I actually might not have Stamina Up. Yeah, I probably won't have Stamina Up on this map then. PhD, yep. Quick Revive, which will be Ultra Revive on this map, of course. Speed Cola, yup. Tombstone, no. Vulture Aid. Could that mess anything up? Not trade Vulture Aids. I am thinking. I think I will have Vulture Aid actually, because I have an idea for something to make Vulture Aids even more useful with seeing the perks through the walls, although you won't be able to see the perks through the walls here, but I do have an idea on what could actually make Vulture Aid pretty cool, I think. Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking, I'm not sure. Should we have Vulture Aid? I don't know, man, I don't know. I think I'll put it there for now. Although I am going to have to make a new icon for Vulture Aid, because Vulture Aid wasn't in Twisted Mansion. Who's who we're not going to have in this one? Widow's Wine? I think I will have Widow's Wine, but I'm going to make it really expensive as it's kind of overpowered. And now let's have a look at Logical's perks as well. We're not going to have Fighter's Fizz because that's just Ultra Revive. But worse, because Fighter's Fizz is way too overpowered. Muscle Milk definitely, because we're using my version of Muscle Milk, which is actually good. ICU though, because ICU and Muscle Milk are kind of built into one in my version of Muscle Milk. But I could change that. Tacticator will definitely have. Yeah, you know what, I think we will have ICU. Sure, why not? Why not? I think Vulture Aid though we're actually gonna get rid of, to be honest. So how many perks is that now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Doesn't have to be a specific number, like it doesn't have to be an even number. So 13 is fine. Make sure that is actually 13. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, definitely 13. Okay. If we use an ICU, I'm just gonna have to get rid of the extra functionality added to Muscle Milk. That for the ICU part, which I think was the regenerating health quicker. So if there's 13 perks, we've got to think about a perk limit. So my idea for this map, we're not gonna have like individual challenges to unlock extra perk slots like we do in Twisted Mansion and Sweet Sweet Canyon and all that. Instead, my idea for at one point of the map is to choose either buying a new perk slot or unlocking free perk machines. And you won't necessarily know which perk machines those are. So basically, buying perk slots is how it's going to work in this map. And I would say maybe we could buy like 3 or 4 perk slots in total. Yes, exactly. This will be a very lazy map, that's for sure. So how many perk slots do we have? Maybe I should make it just 1 perk slot, because then that would be perfect for a rage map. That would be pretty funny, actually. I mean, there's 13 perks. I would say we would want maybe 5 of them to not be purchasable, so that means 8 perk slots, so maybe we'll go with 5 default perk slots, and then 3 extra purchasable ones. Yes, I am good. Very well, thank you. I hope you are too. If you would like, I will explain how my map is gonna work. At the moment, we're just doing the UI, so this is what the UI looks like at the moment. We've just got the Twisted Merchant UI, and I'm just updating it. So at the moment, we're working on the perks. So I'm just deciding what perks to put in here. And of course, we're doing a rage map for Noah's contest, because it has to be rage, unfortunately. So the enemies are literally just going to be Goombas. The Goombas we have in the Mario Tower Defense maps, because that's unique. I mean, you don't usually have zombies that small. Boos everywhere, of course, because boos are probably the most annoyingest part of my maps. So it's going to make people rage. And then it's basically just going to be a whole bunch of challenges built into one map. So the first phase being like Hall of the Shrink, but you're going upwards instead of, well, you're going vertical instead of horizontal, I guess, because you're going upstairs with the wall to fit in, instead of going horizontal with the laser doing its business. Phase 2 is just going to be a basic tower with the water still coming up, so that's going to be kind of like, you know, the Cheese Cube Unlimited map with the spiral stairs and the oil or whatever filling up, the moldy cheese. Phase 3 is just going to be a parkour section, but I might not do this because we have parkour on Phase 7 as well. Phase 4 is going to be the Mario Tower Defense part, where we're defending Toads against the Goobers, and if all Toads die, it's game over. Phase 5 is going to be Nowhere to Run. Of course, this is going to be a time-based map, so the doors are just going to open randomly instead of every round or whatever. And then Phase 6, Nowhere to Run, but you're outside, so it's like, you know, you're where the zombies are spawning from instead of being in the middle. And the zombies will be able to just randomly change direction and all that, which will make it harder. Then we've got parkour, and then the boss battle with good old Bowser Jr. And then all of those phases are repeated, but we're in complete darkness with only the spotlight emitting around you. So kind of like with Hall of the Shrink, in the blackout phases with where you have elemental pop and there's lighters around you or whatever. And then we got Bowser instead of Bowser Jr. for the boss battle. So I think it shall be a very interesting map, that's for sure. Yes, I think it's definitely gonna be interesting. Okay. So... do I want ICU actually? I'm just thinking whether ICU is gonna fuck up my map or not, because my version of Muscle Milk already has some elements of ICU in it, so I'm not sure if I can easily remove that or not. Well, I can, but let me see. I think it was literally just the faster health regen that I had for it. Where are we? Muscle Milk. Do I still use the Muscle Milk thingy for it? Let's see. I can tell from the perk manager script actually, which doesn't exist yet. Let me go to Twisted Dimension and have a look. Twisted Dimension perk manager. So muscle milk is yeah, so we're actually using ICU's code name already for muscle milk, so in that case we won't have ICU because we're gonna have to change a bunch of stuff and we just don't have time for that. I mean, the deadline's literally less than a month from now, so that's at least an even number of perks now. That's 12, so that's better. So I think we'll still go with 5 default perk slots with 3 additional ones. So there'll be a total of 3 perks that you won't be able to get in the game, which I think is fine. Or maybe we'd go with 2 extra perk slots, so we got 7 in total. Wait, no, I can't count. If we have 5 default ones and 3 additional ones, that's 8 perk slots, which means 4 perks that we can't get in the game. Which is probably fine. Probably. Well, I guess we can change this whenever anyway. But for now, we're gonna go 5 default ones and 3 purchasable ones. So 8 total. Okie dokie. So let's start working on this perk UI then. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's actually copy the perk manager script over to my new map, because we're going to be using stuff from there. And where exactly do we have the perk stuff? We have it here actually. So we're going to want 8 perk slots then. So number 9 we can get rid of. Yes, get rid of that one. Perk 9 and perk 9. Voila. Okay. Okay. So now then, we're going to want to work on the perk manager script a little bit, and get rid of this now actually. So perk manager, ultra revive uses, that can stay there. Perk soul orbs, that we can get rid of because we are not doing the whole soul orb thing for this map. That will get rid of as well. Perk, this is the right one, isn't it? Yeah, I always worry that I'm editing the Twisted Mansion one by accident or something, getting rid of everything. Manage perk vases, that can go. That's fine for now, we can edit that later if we want. Now this, we're going to be changing... Oh yeah, there's depth perception as well, isn't there? Depth perception, and there's time slip. Do we want those 2 perks? Time slip I might actually. Depth perception I don't think so. Ooh, do we want time slip? Do we? I'm just thinking what it could really be useful for. Yeah, you know what? I think we will have time step. So in that case, I might actually have 9 perk slots after all, so we're going to control Z this then. Yeah, so 9 perk slots. Maybe still start with 5 default ones, but then have 4 unlockable ones. Where the hell is time slip in here then? Time slip is somewhere. Is it the sky one? I don't think so. Is it somewhere down here? Time slip, where are you? Where the fuck are you? Is it Weg maybe? No, Sphinx? No, that's Death Perception. Okay, let's just type in time slip and see. There we go, ZM core. Cool. Time slip. Alright, so that's 13 perks now then. Let's go back to the perk manager and remove any that we don't have. Which I think is just stamina up actually, because we're not having stamina up on this map, as I feel it's going to break some of the difficulty of some of the challenges. Stamina up is this one here. So get rid of that one on each of these. So that one. Perk colours we can just get rid of. We don't need those here. Those we all need though. That we don't need. That we don't need either. Do we have all the rest of these though? Double tap, speed cola, PhD, dead shot, mule kick, elemental, muscle milk, tequila, electric cherry, juggernog, widow's wine, time slip, tracker's death perception, and jet quiet is the one we're using for Who's Who, so we don't need those two. How many is that now? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that is 13. Okay. Good. And voila. We'll start the prices later. In fact, for now I'm just going to put perk cost to 1, just so I can actually buy them instantly and test them. Okay. And then we'll sort the descriptions later as well. That shit we can get rid of. Perk locations, that we can get rid of. Soul orb locations, those can fuck off. We are going to still have something similar to this actually, because all of the perks are going to be randomly scattered across the map. Let me get a drink. So could I use this still? I think I'm probably better off just getting rid of all of that and starting again, to be fair. Because there's a lot of shit there that we don't care about. So yeah, let's get rid of all of that. And let's start getting the triggers and shit set up then. So... let's see. We need a perk model. Doesn't matter which one really, let's just get double tap. And we need a trigger. A trigger. Not script, we need a trigger. Use touch. Voila. So we're going to have 13 different perk locations, as there are 13 perks, and these are just going to be scattered around the map randomly, basically. So yeah. We'll call this trigger perk 0. And then this needs to be a script model. Trigger perk 0. And I think those are the only ones that we need. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wait, why did I call this trigger perk 0? I'm silly. This is model perk 0. Let's go 128. Nah, that's too much. Let's go 64 instead. Yeah, there we go. So we need to copy this 12 times in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa! What did we do? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Hello, dear knight. I'm sure you are very much looking forward to my rage map. Although it won't be that bad, it's fine. I mean, of course it does have to be a bit ragey, otherwise it's not going to do well in the contest. But it's still going to be fun. That is for sure. At the moment I'm just setting up all the perks. We've got all the default perks, but except Stem Up, because I feel like that's going to break some of the challenges in the map. No, we're just doing the boring job of renaming each of these. Yeah, exactly. I should have frickin' fake perk machines and shit as well. Nah, I wouldn't be that mean. Maybe some death barriers here and there, just for the lulz. Okay, that is them all set up. So now what we can do is code it so each of these perks go to one of these locations randomly, and we can buy each one and it will be working fine. Get rid of that because that's from Twisted Mansion. Perk functionality, so what we need to do is do some shit, basically. We do need to do some shit, that's for sure. Let's add another end on here for reset perks, because we are going to have all locations change once we get through all of the phases. And we can get rid of that one there. Okay. I don't think we need that, actually. So we can create an extra function, I guess, for resetting the perk locations. Reset perk locations, and we can execute the function here. Reset perk locations. Yeah, I can do that technically, but I probably won't do that because, well, I think the map idea I have already is kind of interesting anyway, so I feel that's too much. I've got a document here actually to say what it is about. So the main rage parts of this map are that all of the enemies are tiny, because they're just little Goombas. And there's going to be boos everywhere, because the boos are the most annoyingest part of my maps already. And basically this map is just split into multiple different phases. So we have the first phase being like Call of the Shrink. Phase 2 being just a generic tower. Phase 3, that I might get rid of, to be honest. Phase 4 would be like Mario Tower Defense. Phase 5 like Nowhere to Run. Phase 6 like reverse Nowhere to Run. Phase 7 some parkour, and Phase 8 the boss battle. And then we're going to be going through all of those phases again when we get to the end, but it's going to be complete darkness. So I think it's a very interesting idea with a lot of variety and shit. But it's going to be fair. I think that's the most important thing. Like, a rage map doesn't have to be unfair all the time. It just needs the elements to make it a rage map, which in this case is, well, the parkour, the boos, and the mini Goombas, and also the fact that all of the perks are randomized, and they'll be shuffling again once we loop back through all of the phases. So you'll never know which perk you're going to get, which can get annoying, which is the point. Exactly. Exactly. Hello, Aduba. Hello. Okay, so this is going to be for resetting all of the perk locations then. I didn't want to put that. I don't know why I did. I guess... what should we do with this? Yeah, I'd probably just make a local array here for that. So perk locations equals array, and we're just going to have the numbers from 0 to 12, because that's how many perks we got. And then we're going to randomize the array. Perk locations. It's perk, not perks. Perk locations equals array randomize. Perk locations. Oh, fuck these stupid bots, I swear to God. I am just gonna straight up ban this one. Yeah, fuck off. I don't care about that shit. Okay. So now we're gonna loop through this 13 times. So I is less than 13 plus plus, so we're going from 0 to 12 here. And we are gonna say, well, we're just gonna execute. In fact, actually, we don't need self end on death here, because this is just gonna be from executed from the level itself. So thread perk functionality with the perk index being perk locations I. So whatever we have for the first index, which won't necessarily be 0 because all of this is getting randomized here. And I think that's all I need for that. Yes, I do think so. Okay. Although actually... Yeah, that'd be fine actually. That's fine. Just get rid of all this shit and we'll type it out again. So we'll have the model, get entity, this. Except instead of 0, we'll have the perk index and target name. Trigger will be the same. Except we will have trigger instead of the model. And one other thing we need to do is actually set the model to be the perk machine we want. So we're actually going to need an array here of all of the models of each perk. So let's copy one of these. Perk models. And let's just clear each of these. Actually, no, we won't do that. That's fine. We'll do them as we put the model in each one. So we got double tap here. Let's replace that. We need electric cherry. I did not mean to do that. Electric cherry. We got time slip. Widow's wine. Elemental pot. Juganog. Because of course we have the Juganog. Good old Mule Kick, everyone's favourite perk. PhD. Ultra Revive. Speed Color. Dead Shots. Tequila. And muscle milk. Yeah, I know, right? I am a fucking pro. But yeah, I guess it is interesting for people to see how maps are actually made. That's kind of why I wanted to start streaming this stuff, to be honest. The really annoying thing about muscle milk is that the model for it is rounds the opposite way to all of the other perks for some reason. And that shit gets fucking annoying. That is actually going to be really fucking annoying for this particular one. I'm actually tempted to just correct it myself, to be honest. I think I might actually do that. Because otherwise we're going to have to friggin' sort out rotating it every time it's muscle milk, but then if it turns into another perk instead, then it's going to be around the wrong rotation again. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. And now ape is being a pain in the ass and not opening. That's a very common occurrence with good old asset property editor. Just gotta friggin' close this and reopen it again. Come on, open! Why will you not open? Actually, so freaking frustrating. The most crappiest, unreliable tool ever. Now it's not even here. Is it down here? No, it is not. Come on! Useless ape. Come on! You're nearly there, nearly there. Well, while that's doing its shit, let's just go ahead and try and fix muscle milk. Although I gotta try and find where it's actually saved. Imports. Oh no, what have I done? That's the wrong folder. And I assume it's in model or export. Logical models, perks, milk. Here we are, muscle milk. So let's go ahead and rotate this. Which way are we rotating it? Is it both? Is it the same both sides? No, it's not. So we'd rotate it clockwise then. Can't tell which way is which here, but as long as we do clockwise, it will be fine. Minus 90. Gotta apply this shit. Both of these. And now we gotta export it again. Oh, damn it, I didn't want to do that. Oh, what have I done now? There we go. Logical milk, and we'll call this rotated. Voila. And now we just need fucking 8 to hurry up and open. Why is it still not open? My god, am I really gonna have to reset? I think I am. I guess at least you get to experience how freaking frustrating this freaking tool is. I absolutely hate tape so much. The most useless piece of shit ever. To close literally everything, wait for this to load. Most of the time I have to close freaking Steam fully as well through the task manager just for it to open. Fuck off. You still not opening? Down here now, for whatever reason. Still not opening? No. Okay. Looks like it's gonna make me close Steam fully, so that's fun. Steam. Goodbye. Actually, so fucking useless. Do 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 do. USB hub decided to disconnect for a second. Why does my USB hub keep disconnecting? Stupid thing. Everything's going wrong. Okay. Are you gonna open this time? Oh, you know, for God's sake. No, it's still not opening. Oh my god. Yay, it's fucking opening! Let's go! My god. Okay, let's open up Radiant again. Where are we? Mario Challenge Mix. Come on! Come on, Ziridion, hurry up! Okay. Now where's Massimo gone? Did I delete it? Guess I did. Get that, and copy this. To here. Okay, so we got that. When Ape decides to actually respond. I know, clicking one single fucking model is such a hard task to do. Uses up so much computer power, like it's crazy. Welcome to Galaxy. Oh my god, Ape, hurry up! My freaking god. Now where's it gone? Oh my god, this is literally just common computer problems right here. This is what I have to deal with all the freaking time. Hey, are you good now, Ape? Are you good? I think it's good now. Okay, let's duplicate this. Rotate it. Rotate it. Processing, processing, processing. 10 years later. Responding. It's as if fucking Muscle Melt's model is like 1,000,000 polygons or something. There we go, it is rotated now. So now we should be able to change this to rotated. It's gonna be no model to start with because Radiant has to process that Ape has actually done something, which sometimes could take about 10 years. Yeah, Ape was fucking up my PC basically, that's why. Just like Ape fucks up everything. Okay, are you gonna actually... Oh, whatever, honestly. I know that that's the model name, so it's fine. Let me just replace this when my PC decides that it wants to do that. Well, actually, I can just type it manually, to be honest. You know what, I probably should close Blender to be fair, because I don't actually need this open anymore. And Ape can fuck off now as well. Took that long to friggin' open it and now we can close it again. Ay ay ay. That is gone. Now let's close Stupid Ape. And now we're finally back with some shits. Rotated. Voila. It still hasn't updated. Weird. Imagine I frickin' rotated it around the wrong way and now I have to do it all again. No, that is fine. Perfect. It is actually around the right way now. Good. And also we can get rid of all of these now. Because these are just a default perk prefabs that we don't need. No, I don't want to delete the floor. There we go, fuck off. Okay. So we've got the perk models array now. So now what we can do is say model, set model to level.perk models perk index. So the model will be set to whatever array index this is linked to, which is pretty good indeed. Oh yeah, this is how we rotate friggin' muscle it before. We literally have to do rotate to and all that shit just because it was round the wrong way. So stupid. Okay, we can get rid of all of that at the moment. There's a lot here that we can get rid of actually, because most of this just relates to Twisted Mansion specifically. But interactability, I don't know if we need that necessarily. I think we can actually just merge these into the same scripts. Probably into the same function rather. So what is this one specifically for? Yeah, this is pretty much just managing the soul orb thing from Twisted Mansion, so we don't actually need any of this, to be honest. I think the main reason we had to have these split up is because of Nabbit being able to steal the shit. But he's not even going to be in this map, so we don't actually need any of that. Okay, so we'll basically just steal some stuff from that function, I guess. So we'll go while true, so an infinite loop. And then we can pretty much just copy this stuff and edit that. So, oh yeah, we've got the actual interacting with the trigger part. So, trigger, wait till trigger player. So we're waiting for a player to trigger it. We can get rid of that now as well. If player.score is greater than or equal to perk cost, which at the moment is literally just 1 point, just for testing. If it is an array, what is this part for? Oh, it's checking if we've already got the perk. Okay. That is fine. But we might change how that works a bit. I'm not sure. I think we can keep that the same for now actually. Let's just open ZM stats because that's where that stuff is in. Perk icon, perk status, 16B and just no perk because that was because it was you had 16 perks in Twisted Match and we only have 12 here, was it? Or was it 13? I forgot now. I think it's 13, isn't it? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so this can go up to 14 then. So 14 would be the default value, and we need 13 of these. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Oh, is that for the icons itself? Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what, that's actually for the icons, not the friggin' amount of perks, so we need 9 of these then. Yeah, 9 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can get rid of 4 of these. The rest we'll just leave for now. Why is it saying I'm live now? Did my stream just reset or something? What is going on? Am I still streaming on YouTube? Okay, my stream is fine on YouTube. What is happening? Video is unavailable on Twitch apparently. There we go. Oh yeah, looks like my Twitch stream reset for some reason. Interesting. Don't know what happened there. But it looks like everything's fine. Okay. So if the player score is greater than or equal to the perk cost, then we do that, but if it's not, then we want to output the not enough money message, which I'm not sure if that exists yet. Let's have a little look. Not enough money. No, we don't have it yet, so we need to copy that over from Twisted Mansion then. That'd be in this. Let's put it anywhere in here. Okay, that should be fine. But then we need to change this to the actual map name now, so ZM Mario Challenge Mix as well. Let's change that here. Voila. Where are we now? Down here, so not enough money. Self is nothing at the moment, that needs to be the trigger. And then that cost, yeah, that's fine. So now we're checking if one of the perk icons is the perk we're trying to buy. If it is one of the perks, if one of the perk icons is the perk we're trying to buy, then we already have the perk, so we just output that message. Otherwise we can buy the perk. We don't need this perk color stuff, that's again related to Twisted Mansion. If perk index is 0, which is ultra revive, we're making sure we actually have enough uses for ultra revive. Because obviously ultra revive can't be infinitely used. Self here needs to be trigger. Don't need that because that again related to Twisted Mansion's color coded perks thing. And then we decrease the amount of uses remaining for ultra revive. And then say ultra revive is no longer available if it isn't. Yeah, we'll keep that like that for now. And then player give perk, which I don't think exists in here yet, does it? No, so we need to actually... Oh no, of course it does. We literally straight up copied the scripts, didn't we? Of course we did. Again, we can get rid of that. Give perk, self here should be trigger for both of these. Where are we? Oh, we're in the wrong one, we're in interactability now. Okay, I need to just get rid of this so I don't get confused. I thought I had already done that. I was like, what the hell? What is going on here? Okay, so we're here. Set that to trigger instead. And get rid of that. Okay. So then that should be the setup for that all done. I believe. Update perk hint string. Would we need to do this? Because this mostly has to exist because of Nabbit. Stealing the perks and stuff, so the hint string will be changing quite often. But I think at the moment the only time it would change would be for Ultra Revive, when you can't purchase it anymore, and when all of the perk locations reset. I think those are the only times that this would actually change. So we probably don't need this then in that case. Where do we actually execute this from? Okay, that's fine. Right then. So in that case, let's go ahead and copy this, because we'll put this up here instead. And we'll basically say if perk index equals 0, which is Ultra Revive, we want to set the hint string to this. So the button we need to press, the cost of the perk, and the uses remaining, because Ultra Revive has a certain amount of uses. There should be a gap there. By Ultra Revive, and then the description of the Ultra Revive. So now else, if the perk index is not 0, then it's basically the same, except we don't want the uses remaining part, because all of the other perks have infinite uses. So that's the hint string done for that. Now if Ultra Revive, if we buy Ultra Revive and then we run out of uses, then we need to change the hint string for Ultra Revive to it not being available, which would be this right here. Ultra Revive can no longer be purchased. Also, this shouldn't be self, this should be trigger instead. So then we wait one second. If Ultra Revive uses is equal to 0 or less, then we will change the hint string to Ultra Revive can no longer be used. And we have to do the same up here as well, because this is going to be executed and reset every time the perks reset. So it's quite possible that Ultra Revive won't be purchasable when this is executed. So we can say if perk index is 0, then we can say here, if level the Ultra Revive uses remaining is greater than 0, and an else as well. This would go inside the main if, because we want to set the hint string to that if Ultra Revive uses remaining is greater than 0, so we can still purchase Ultra Revive. If Ultra Revive uses remaining is equal to 0 or less though, then we want to set the hint string to that, because Ultra Revive is no longer purchasable, of course. Because unlike Twisted Mansion and all the other maps, the Ultra Revive model is still gonna stay there. Otherwise, it's gonna mess up everything. But the hint string is just gonna change this. No longer accessible or whatever. So now, we should be good to just get rid of all of that. Disable Ultra Revive we shouldn't need either, because we're already doing that in that other function now. Give perk, we do still need that. Give perk from bookcase, obviously we don't need that, because there aren't any bookcases in this map. I'm getting very thirsty actually, and I have no water left, so I think I'm gonna go get some water quickly, as well as make a cup of tea or something. So I'm just gonna go take a quick break. I will be back in just a minute. Well, probably more like 5 minutes, most likely. Okay, I am back. Let's put on some different music now. What should we put on? I wonder if there's any Mario Kart World playlists yet. Mario Kart World OST. Mario Kart World OST Origins. What is this? Is that a Zombies reference? What day is this? Nah, this is just a playlist of... Oh, it's probably a playlist of all of the music from different games that Mario Kart World uses. But the rest of the music pieces here are just like the default lengths are like 3 minutes. That's no good. There's one in here in Japanese actually. What is this? No, I don't think that's actually the music. Oh, there is a playlist here, Mario Kart World OST. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with this then. This is nice. We love the Mario Kart World OST. We love it, don't we? Okay, let's get back to this anyway. Okay, so give perk. Of course we're keeping this because this is the main like thing where we actually give the player a perk. Right here, so player give perk, trigger perk index. Oh, okay, so this should actually be perk model, not the trigger. Although I don't think it matters, to be fair. I think that's literally just where the sounds, the perk plays or whatever. I don't remember exactly. Okay, so this is where we're trying to find an available icon. So while icon found is equal to -1, meaning there isn't an icon found, and icon index is less than 14, that needs to be 10, or does it need to be 9? Yeah, it would need to be 9 because there's 9 icons in total, but the index starts from 0. So we go from 0 to 8. Icon index, increment that. If self.perk icon perk status, that is 16, which we're changing to 14 because that's no perk. Perk icon unlock status equals true. So this is another thing we need to change in the stats one. Saved perk icon perk status. I think this saved one was from for if we leave and then rejoin or something, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that for this particular map. Perk icon shine status, of course that's when the perk icon is actually shining, like this. Like if like elemental pop, if you get an AOT then it shines, or deadshot, if you get a headshot then it shines, etc. So we're going to need the same amount of indexes here as this, which is 9 I believe. Yeah, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2, 3. In fact, unlock status here, we don't need this because the amount of perks unlocked is going to be a game thing rather than a player individual thing like it is with the other maps. So say if one player has 6 perks unlocked, all players are going to have 6 perks unlocked. So we don't need to do this for each player individually. Instead, we can actually put this in here and make it a level variable instead. So perk icon unlock status. We can call it the same thing. So we'll say down here. Actually, no, we'll put it above all this. Yeah, we'll put it up here, I think. Level dot perk icon unlock status array. So we're gonna have 5 perk slots being unlocked to start with, and then 4 being locked. False, 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 false. So we should have 9 there. Yep. Perk icon unlock status. Did we get rid of it from here? We didn't. Wait, hang on. Perk icon. Yeah, we did get rid of it. So down here now we can change this to level. Perk icon unlock status. Icon index is true. And icon index is not equal to 9. What is that? Oh, because icon index 9 before was the permanent perk icon. So yeah, we don't want that because we're not having a permanent perk in this map. Icon found is icon index, perk icon perk status, icon index, perk index, that's fine. Perk icon unlock status, that should be level. Perk icon unlock status, that. So this is just incrementing how many perks we're allowed right now. I probably don't need to do that because that's again mostly for like the individual yeah, probably don't need to do that. We can actually make that a public variable again instead. Where we will say up here in fact, we might not even need this perk icon unlock status at all. We might be able to get away with just a single variable that says how many perks we're allowed right now. So we'll say level dot current perk limit is 5. Perk functionality, we're down here. So basically we need to check if we've got if we've reached the perk limit now instead. So yeah, I mean we can still do that, but obviously we don't need this now. But then we'll put another variable here for current perks, which is going to record how many perks we currently have, and that needs to increment every time this is not equal to 14, because if that's not equal to 14, that means we've got a perk in that icon slot. So we want to say current perks, current perks plus plus. So this is basically giving us the icon that we can put the new perk in. And then this is telling us how many perks we currently have. So then at the end here, if current perks is less than or equal to level.current perk limit. Actually, no, not equal to, because if it's equal to, then we can't buy the perk still. In fact, do I where do I Oh, we don't actually decrease the cost up here, do we? We do it down here instead. Okay, that's fine. So, if current perks... Crap, sorry, I was just gonna check something. Okay, that is fine. So, if the amount of perks we have right now is less than the current perk limit, then of course we can buy the perk. But, icon found. I think, I'm just trying to think what the best way of doing this would be. But I'm thinking at the moment, yeah, what I think I'm going to do, let's move this all the way to the top bit. Let's just leave a bit of a gap here, just so we can put the old stuff down the bottom, the new stuff at the top, and delete the old stuff after. So current perks equals 0. Then we're going to use a for loop, where we're going to loop through each of the icon indexes. So we've got 9 indexes, so we'll do 9 here, because we're going from 0 to 8, which is 9 indexes. I++. And if self is the player, right? Let's just make sure. Yes, it is. So self dot perk icon, perk status, icon, not icon index, perk index. No, not perk index either. I is what I'm looking for. There we go. If perk icon, perk status, the current index is equal to 14, no, is not equal to 14, that basically means that we have a perk in that icon slot. So we're going to increase the current perks that we have there. Oh, hello, Elwood. Yes, you can steal my code. Not that you know what any of it means, and you don't even know how to spell the correct steal, apparently. So yeah. It didn't work? Really? That's weird. Well, you will have to show me how you set it up later, and I will see if I can figure it out. But I think you're just being a noob, to be honest. Okay, so now we know how many perks we have, so we can do this here and make sure that we haven't reached the perk limit. So if current perks is less than the current perk limit, that's good. We could go ahead and find what the next icon is that we need to fill up. So that's where we're going to be doing this. You're turning it to metal? Don't you mean turning? You don't even know how to spell turning now. Well, icon found is -1, which means there's... Hang on, what am I doing? I'm being silly. You're distracting me. I didn't think anything else was needed either, to be fair. That is very weird, very weird. I don't know what is up with that then. No, you shut up. You shouldn't have joined the stream if you're driving. In fact, you're breaking the fucking law now. You should be ashamed of yourself. So oh my god, you have distracted me so much. What am I doing? We're trying to find what the lowest most available icon is for the perk. Yes, exactly. So yeah, we're going to want to use a while loop for this. So while, yeah, we're going to need icon found as well. Icon found is -1 default. While icon found, in fact, yeah, we are going to need both of these actually. I might as well just use the old frickin' one in that case. So we're looping through all of the indexes, but all of the icon indexes, and we're going to keep going until we actually find an icon. So icon index, increment that. If that's 14, then that means it's available. So we're setting the icon found to the current icon index. And then we're setting that, we're setting our own perk status thing to the perk index. Okay. So yeah, that would work then. We just got to get rid of this else now. So now, what we've basically done is we've checked if we've reached the perk limit. If we haven't reached the perk limit, we are trying to find what perk icon is the lowest one available. Oh, thank you. You always break the law. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, keep using the wrong fucking spellings, why don't you? Ay. Okay. So now, if current perks is not less than the current perk limit, that is where we want to output this message. And we want to change perks allowed here to current perk limit. You already have current perk limit perks, cool. That will work, probably. And now let's go ahead and move all of this shit into here. So this is where we are decreasing our score by the amount that the perk costs. If can drink is true. So that basically is like whether we're actually doing drinking animation for the perk, which I think we'll always be doing. So I might not need that. Yeah, I don't think I need either of these two parameters actually, because the other one is for whether the perk is random or not, which again I don't think will ever be the case. So if can drink is true, then we just do this, and we can actually get rid of all of this other stuff actually. So Xeon by perk, the code name of the perk model, and the perk index. Okay. Get rid of this shit. Now we're just going to want to go to the Xeon perk scripts and make sure that all looks good in there as well. So Xeon perks, what is it, by perk? Let's have a look. Perk position, and perk index. What's perk position? Is that the model? Yeah, that's the model. Okay. So yeah, that one's for just playing the sounds or whatever, I guess. The bowl dispense sound. So that is fine. So now if perk index is 0, Player has ultra revive is true. Yeah, that's for like the special events and all of that, I guess. Time step isn't going to be perk index 13 anymore because we got rid of stamina. I think that's going to be 12 now. So we just got to have a look. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so time step is index 12 now. So change that to 12. I don't think we need this time step event. And then these two can go because we don't use Death Perception or Who's Who in this map. And I think everything else... Oh no, everything else is not fine. Do we need that down there? I don't know. I think we do, but we don't need it here as well. I don't know why I have it in there twice. So let's put that there. And then I think everything else is fine. Perk index is no good. I don't think I use this anymore. This is all the way back from like Mario Tower Defense 1 or something. Just code that I have in here that I haven't used all the way since then. So we can get rid of that. Oh, I got rid of too much there. Get rid of that. And that. And that should be it for this script. So let's go back to Perk Manager and take a sip of my tea. My beautiful tea. Okay. Manage perk slot unlock. Okay, so we can get rid of pretty much all of this. Because the only way we're going to be unlocking perks is through actually buying a perk slot. Okay. We don't actually use that anywhere at the moment anyway. So what I'm probably going to do is just get rid of this whole thing and create an entirely new function. Buy perk slots. Well, I think we'll actually create a temporary trigger for that then. Let's just put in a default model for it as well. Like this guy. It's just a random dummy, whatever. Duplicate one of these triggers. Sure, that's fine. Trigger buy perk slot. Yes, Sunday will be great, that's for sure. Although we won't be playing this map, unfortunately, because it definitely will not be finished by then. Okay. So I might have to change this code a little bit later, when we actually set up where this is going to be, but that's fine. We'll just put this for now. Get ends. Nope, that's not what I meant. I meant the speech marks, not number fucking 2. Target name. While true. Actually, we don't want... Yeah, we will put that for now. Again, this is going to have to change later on, but that's fine. Wait till trigger player. And then if we do that, Let's put in a cost variable here, so perk slot cost equals 1 for now. If player.score is greater than or equal to perk slot cost, so they can afford it. Else, if their score is less than the perk slot cost, we would want to do this here. Not enough money, that being for this trigger, and the cost being the perk slot cost. But if they can afford it, then we will output a green message. Actually, that could be a group notification instead, because we'll be buying the perk slot for everyone, not just ourselves. So we'll make that into a group notification, if I can actually copy this. Group notification, perk slot purchased. Everyone's perk limit is now, and then we output what the current perk limit is. But of course at the moment that's going to output the old perk limit, so we need to increase the current perk limit by 1 just before that. Oh boo hoo. Boo fucking hoo. And then we just need a delay here so that doesn't crash the map. Voila. So that should be that sorted. We just gotta actually output that up here. We'll do it probably here. Threads. What do we call it? Unlock perk slot, was it? Perk. What the hell did we call it? We called buy perk slot, okay. Buy the perk slots. Perk slot hints, what is this then? Oh, this is relating to the perk challenges which aren't going to exist in this map, so that can definitely go. What did I just do? Whatever I did, I didn't want to do that. When do we do this then? Interesting. We must do that from a different script, I guess. Okay, let's continue anyway. So now we're on the manage perma perk bit, which we don't want because we do not have permanent perks in this map. Self-revive timer, that's of course for when a player is down with ultra revive. This is the UI for that. So I don't think we have to really change anything here. Yeah, I mean all this should be fine already. Start invincibility countdown. So that's the frames where the player's invincible after they get back up, which is a manual thing that I've put in. Which means it probably doesn't exist in my actual script yet. I need to get that from Twisted Mansion here. Manage player invincible countdown. Let me just make sure it isn't in oh my god, what have I just done down here? Okay. There we go. Just make sure it's not in here already, which it's not. So let's put that there. And then we launch that from on player spawned. So we are indeed going to need all this shit in there as well. But obviously not all of this. So we'll put that, yeah, we'll put that here. And then on player spawns, we execute that when a player is spawned. Yeah, we'll probably need on connect as well, maybe not on disconnect. That goes after this. So let's copy in on connect as well. We can select that. So this is for setting the default values for the client fields and all that. Oh yeah, that's true. Because we do that, don't we? So we might need on disconnect then actually as well. That's fine. So that's like the change in the player order for the UI. Host player. I don't think we need that client field. Yeah, so I think I might as well start actually creating the client fields now. Let's just finish off the perk manager scripts first. I might as well. Self-revive alpha, that should be all fine as well. Give pack perks after self-revive. This won't be fine yet. Okay. So ultra revive index, blah blah blah. We're trying to find what icon is linked to ultra revive, and we're removing it. I think. Yeah, we're removing it. Okay, that's fine. Get rid of those two because depth perception who's who isn't in this map. Ultra revive index, blah blah blah. So we're setting that to 14 because that's the default value for that. Go into 9, 14. This is meant to be time slips, so that's 12 now. And that one we can get rid of. Icon index is available. Oh, okay, so this is telling us how many perks we have, so we know how many to give back. That makes sense. Then if we have time slip, then we just give that back instantly. And we shouldn't, I don't think we need that. Did we get rid of that last time? Yeah, we did. Give perk 12. There we go. Perks to give back. So if we have 1 or 2 perks, we give back 1 perk. If we have 3 or 4 perks, we give back 2 perks. If we have 5 or 6, we give back 3. And then if we have 7 or 8, we give back 4. And then we can get rid of the rest because we can only have a max of 9 perks anyway. So yeah, we can only have a max of 9 perks, but if we use Ultra Revive and get back up, we'd have a max of 8 perks because Ultra Revive was one of those perks, which is now gone. So that means we can just change this to an else. So the max perks we can give back would be 4. There we go. Icon index is available. Blah blah blah. Perks to give back. Oh, okay, so yeah, we're randomizing the perks that we already had. So we're randomly giving back the perks, basically. That makes very much sense. Get rid of those because we're not using Death Perception. Who's here? That is 12. And that is 14. And that should be that done. Give player Juggernaut, get for easy mode. That we're not going to use anymore. And perk vases we're not using anymore. So that is that script finally done. So now we're moving on to setting up the client fields, which will be used for the UI. Okay. Let's see then. I think what we'd do actually is copy all of the client fields from Twisted Mansion over to our new map. And we'll just get rid of the ones that we don't need. That would probably be the quickest way of doing it. My god, we use so many client fields. Okay. So, all the settings ones we don't need, because those are just for the settings UI that appear literally right as we open one of my maps. But that settings UI isn't going to exist in this map. So we can get rid of that. I don't think we use underlay out for because that's, I think, was for the settings mostly. Do we have one for the fader here? Because we are going to use a fader. No, I don't think we do a fader here. So in that case, we'll just change this to be a fader. We don't need it to be 7-bit though. Probably get away with probably 4 bits should be fine. So that means we can use values up to 15. Okay. Underlay color. So that could be fader color. Would we have more than one color for the fader? Probably not, no. Cutscene active, yep, we definitely need that because that disables all of the UI when a cutscene is active. And we are going to use cutscenes on this map. Character index, we definitely need that because that's for changing the character icon on the screen. Well, depending on what character you are. But we can change the amount of bits we need because we will only have 6 playable characters in this map, which means we can have them be 3 bits. Like so. But I think I am actually going to make this map be playable for 8 players, so we are going to duplicate this for the other 4 players as well. Player banner states, that's for setting the color of let me get up my Twisted Mansion shit. We need a look at the UI. So that's just setting the color of this banner, or like whether the player's down or something. That we probably would need, yeah, because the banners are going to look a lot different in this map, but I think we are still going to have them work the same way as that. Probably don't need 3 bits to that though, probably just 2 bits, so we can use values from 0 to 3. And again, we need to duplicate that for all 8 players. Oops, that I did not want. Update player order. So that's actually set in the order that all the other players appear in, because our players... No, why are you cycling, Steam? Our player is always the one in the bottom left, and then the other three get put in a random order. Yeah, so that we probably would need still. So 2 bits isn't going to be enough for that though if we've got 8 players. So we'd be going from position 0 to position 7, which would mean we'd need exactly 3 bits actually. So we can change all of them to 3. Wait a minute actually. A bit confusing. Player pause index. This is very confusing actually, very much. Why is the music gone off? Video paused? Why is it paused? It didn't pause shit. Okay. How are we gonna do this then? I think for now I might just get rid of that actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll get rid of that for now. Might not need that. We'll probably just put them in the order of, like, the order of their client number. It's the order that they joined in. Like, white is player 1, blue is player 2, yellow is player 3, etc. Last and blood, we're not using that. That's the blood UI that appears when you're downed. Bleed out time, that we do need because that that's used for like the downed bar that appears next to a player when they're downed or whatever, which we probably will still be using this new UI. So we would probably need 6 bits for that. Or maybe not, actually. We might be able to get away with 5 bits. Yeah, I think we can get rid of 5 bits, to be fair. Time step bleed out time we don't need because we're going to edit that, so it's built into the same iron field. And of course we're going to need 4 extra ones of this for the extra 4 players. Player has Who's Who, that can obviously go because we're not using Who's Who, as well as all of those. Self-revive bleed out time. Could we put that in the same one as well? That would be harder to do, I think. But we could. Yeah, we could probably do that. Player has self-revive, that's literally just to say whether they have self-revive or not, so we only need values from 0 to 1. Player is downed, yeah, that's obviously to say whether they're downed or not, so we do need that. self-revive timer. Oh, that's for their individual UI, I guess. So we probably would need that, yeah. But we can also lower the amount of bits we need. We can get rid of this one completely because we can build that into the bleed out time one instead. But the alpha we will need, but we definitely don't need 7 bits for that. That we could just use self-revive alpha. I think that's for the icon actually, because the icon kind of flashes in and out. Probably do 4 bits for that then. And now the perk index for each player, where we only have 9 perk indexes, so we can get rid of a chunk of these. And why are these 5 bits? That's really unnecessary. Because that means we can use values up to 31. And we most definitely did not have 31 perks on Twisted Mansion, so I don't know why we used 5 bits here. That is really bizarre. That should only be 4 bits. Okay. So get rid of all these and we're just going to basically replace them. 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot we're going to need there. Unless I do that, actually, might be able to use local variables for those. I mean, local variables would be better for that because it means I don't have to use, well, that many client fields, because that is a lot. That is definitely a lot. But it might be too many still. I guess we'll have to see. Okay, well let's try using the local variables, I guess. So let's open up like the Sona map because that's where I started using them. Here we are. So then we can get rid of this last number here, and that needs to go up to 4. Oh, definitely not 44. Imagine having 44 fucking bits, that's crazy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we need the same for pause, shine, and not lock status, that's fine. Don't need that one. Player perk, index pause. We'll probably get away with, yeah, 4 bits for this one. Okay, and then shine, again, probably get away with 4 bits for that one as well. This might be too many local variables though, because you can only have a certain amount, which is really inconvenient. Why I rarely use the local ones. So we're just gonna have to test and make sure that it's fine. Water overlay alpha, we will need that because there is going to be water in this map and we can go underwater. Sparkle, that's like the sparkle on the eyes in the portraits. We're not going to use that though because the portraits are going to look very different to how they look in my other maps. And we pretty much don't need any of these actually, up to the rounds UI stuff. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that round UI stuff yet, so I might get rid of that for now. Location, oh that's the room location, so that we're not using here. Inbox, that was the Easter egg stuff for Twisted Mansions, that can fuck off. Cutscene doors we're not using, cutscene skip allowed, we are using that. Host player. I don't know if we need that though. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Boss battle hard. I think we probably will be using that, yeah. Boo stuff we can get rid of because that's all specifically for Twisted Mansion. And then band player for the band players, of course. So yes, we do need that. Um, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's copy all this to CSC scripts. And then we basically need to, where do we copy this from? Copy it from here. So we just got to copy this to the end of each of these, except the local variables, because they look a little bit different. And I'm just going to have to test this to make sure we're not going to get an error saying that we've used too many of the local client field things, which I think might happen. And if it does, then we're just going to have to change some of them around. Oh shit, that's the local variables, okay. Get rid of all that shit. Okay. Then I need to copy the stuff at the bottom of the CSC. This right here. That needs to go there. And also it reminds me I need to do this as well, which gets rid of the lights and the zombie eyes, because obviously we don't want that. But that also means we need to put in this right here. Yes, exactly that. Voila. And then it's just the local client fields we need to sort out. So we just gotta copy this at the end of each of those. Oh my god, my throat is getting so sore. I don't know why it gets so sore when I'm streaming, but it doesn't usually get sore when I'm actually just recording videos. Okay. That should be fine then. Just gotta comment all this stuff out because that's gonna cause some crashes otherwise. Because at the moment I just want to test to make sure we're not going to get an error for having too many local client fields. Just got to make sure there's nothing in Pet Manager that's going to cause a crash as well. Yeah, that should all be fine. Okay. I think that will be fine, yeah. Oh, it's just the stuff in Pet Manager. That's fine though. That should only fuck up if we actually try and buy one of the perks, which we won't. We're just going to go ahead and compile this. And compile it. Voila. Now I'm just going to sit back and wait and relax my voice a bit so my throat doesn't die even more. Okay, you know what, to be honest, I think once I've checked... Oh, there's already an error. 89, what the hell is that? Oh, I think I know actually. 89. Wait a minute. Oh, it's in a CSC, okay. What? Oh, I put a V at the end here. Whoopsies. Yeah, to be honest, I think I'm gonna end the stream now. But I might stream again a bit later. In like maybe 3 or 4 hours from now, possibly. Because I need to rest my voice a bit. And also, this client field stuff is probably kind of boring anyway. So maybe I'll just try and get all this done and then stream a bit later, the more interesting stuff. So, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you for the next stream. Goodbye.